All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Minority Movie Report. My name is Rudy.
I'm Candace.
And today we are going to be reviewing the movie Palm Springs. Now, this movie stars Andy Samberg and Christina Milioti. All right, first things first, what did you think?
I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Okay.
So I watched it twice. I actually watched it before you watched it.
Okay.
And the first time, I was definitely not expecting the storyline to go all Groundhog's Day on me. I was like, okay.
Okay.
Not ready for the infinite time.
So you didn't know what it was going in.
I didn't know anything about this
okay,
movie.
because I told you when it came out, I was like, we need to watch this movie.
But you didn't give me no detail. Same thing with Onward. He was like, hey, you're going to watch this movie. And I was like, this is a cartoon? Like, when we were buying the tickets.
Yeah.
So, I didn't know anything about this movie. And initially, I thought it was pretty funny. Like, I would pay to see this in the theater.
Okay.
Like, I would have actually said, you know what? This movie, if I had saw like a decent preview, I'd have given it a shot.
All right. I like a good romantic comedy, personally. I think their chemistry, Andy Samberg and Christina Milioti's, I think it was really good. It felt genuine of two, I guess, toxic people going through life. And that's what they were. They were toxic
Very
at the
toxic.
beginning of the movie.
The only thing that I will say about the character development is you never found out Andy Samberg's background. You don't know why he was in the time loop. Like, you only know that he goes to the wedding with the maid of honor. That's basically her date.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
are we going spoilers on this one, or are we just gonna...
Well, I mean, shit.
You want to just go in?
I was going... Oh, wait. Were we not going in?
I was ready, but I wasn't sure. We didn't talk
I'm
about
ready.
This. All right, let's go.
About to dive in.
No, let's do this. Let's go deep. All right, cool. So, continue. Sorry.
But anyways, so like I was saying, I kind of felt like they didn't give you any type of background to I guess what I would say, like, humanize him. I guess, like, there's no way to really relate to him because you don't have a background story. With what was her character's name, Sarah. With Sarah,
yeah,
you know, you got to see like that build up of like how she, you know, what bedroom she was waking up in every morning and why she got into that bedroom. But you don't know what his life was before. You don't know any background about him. And that's the only interesting thing I found.
I think they kind of like storied it away.
Yeah.
With the what they were like, he was like, I don't remember anything about my past life because I've been here for so long.
But how do we know?
Yeah.
How do we know? He could have been making that up.
He could have been. I mean, he at the end of the movie, he did say, like, oh, I got to go pick up my dog. And she was like, we got a dog? He's like, yeah, he's a furry one.
Yeah, it was a shaggy dog.
Shaggy kind,
It was the shaggy kind. But no, initial thoughts, I thought it was definitely a good watch. And I even enjoyed it watching it the second time. Like, it didn't take away from anything watching it.
Yeah, because knowing everything knowing all the twists and turns, let's just do this. The fact that she wakes up in the groom-to-be's bedroom in the morning.
The first time I saw that, I was like,
oh my God.
Girl.
Oh, I was like, you slept with your sister's fiance the night before the wedding?
I knew it was something. Because what sister shows up to their sister's wedding as the maid of honor, drunk, and doesn't know that they have to give a speech? She felt guilty.
Yeah. No, she was trying to drink her problems away.
Exactly, because that's what I would do if I slept with my best friend's soon-to-be husband.
That was that trashy. That
Probably
bad.
do a little bit more than alcohol, though. What do you think?
She did do a lot more than alcohol, though.
She do a bump?
Did they do cocaine?
He did.
He did
with
cocaine.
Roy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Roy.
Okay.
You wanna give it to me?
Yeah. J. Jonah Jameson is in this movie, and he plays the
Roy.
bad guy, kind of. It's interesting. He's not really...
He's not a bad guy.
He's just a dark influence.
Not even that. I definitely think that he was well within his rights to do everything that he did because, I mean, he kind of got tricked into an infinite time loop.
Yeah, he was
under the
high out
influence
his
of
mind.
drugs.
Yeah,
like,
he was high out his mind. Of course, that sounds like a good idea at the time.
If I woke up and found out that I was in an infinite time loop because I did drugs with this dumbass dude the day before, I'd be pissed.
Yeah,
and I would take revenge.
If you were to take me at my most partying and be like, yo, you can relive this night forever, I'd be like, fuck yes, let's go. And then immediately regretted that a week later.
Yeah, or the next day, because now you're in an infinite time loop.
I think a week.
You'd enjoy the time loop?
For a week. For 7 sleeps.
I'd give it little bit longer than that. I'd probably say
I'm
2.5 to 3 weeks. I'm like, okay, now this is old. I'm bored now.
I'm so ADHD. I'd be like, I'm out. This is bullshit. I'm gonna go do what Sarah did. I'm gonna go learn quantum physics.
I take the vacation that he did. He was like every day in the pool. He had his beer, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna soak this up real quick. I don't have to pay rent for at least the next month, so I'm gonna soak this up with no bills. All the food that I can eat. It's a wedding, so I know there's alcohol here. I mean, that's the ideal situation to be trapped in.
If you're in a sufficiently big enough city, the amount of possibilities you can exhaust is almost limitless.
Yeah, because you have like a whole 24 hours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, until you fall asleep or die.
Or until you fall asleep or die. So I would just suggest you don't fall asleep or die.
Crystal meth is a hell of a drug.
We're going right to the meth?
Yep.
No.
I mean, that's what Andy Samberg did. He's like, I was on crystal meth for 36 hours. Ended up in Equatorial New Guinea.
Yeah. So I thought Roy was a little bit justified in his actions and kind of, getting some of that, because I mean, I'd be angry if I found out that the rest of my life, everything stopped before I wanted it to stop, Yeah. Like I was still living life. I was still enjoying I was watching my kids grow up. I was married. I had a wife, and then all of a sudden, boom, I'm just stuck forever. And the person who did it is here with me. Like
Yeah. They did have a lot of fun with the time loop jokes, like whenever Andy Samberg's character Niles would wake up and then mock his girlfriend by copying everything she said.
Oh, that was good.
That they had a lot of fun. They had a lot of fun with the jokes with like, if you were stuck in an infinite time loop, you would exhaust.
What are some things that you would encounter?
And stuck in a shitty hotel, not a shitty hotel, but in like an Airbnb. Stuck in a really nice Airbnb, but the amount of people you can interact with is limited. So the amount of options that you could.
It just gets old.
Yeah.
After a while,
He knew exactly what she was gonna say at every second, and it was fucking great.
That was pretty great. So, what did you think about? I guess there is a few themes that we could point out in the movie, and one of those was just kind of like owning your shit, and like kind of facing your fears and taking responsibility for your actions, and that's kind of why that was inferred that was why Andy Samberg was there, his character, and we saw that was how Sarah ended up
took
there.
a small grievance because after they had their big fight, they go their separate ways. She gets hit by a Mack truck, and then he doesn't see her again for who knows how long, because she disappeared for what is essentially a master's or a doctorate degree in
that takes about 2.5 years.
From knowing nothing?
It takes about 6 years.
Yeah, so she gets a doctorate in quantum physics, that's what it is. And she conducts all these experiments, and so it's very interesting to me that, like, they let her, like, they showed her growth from, like, being the bad sister, like, hey, I cheated with your fiance/husband. Like, they showed her growth and accepting and owning her shit. But Andy Samberg's character just kind of gets like a coming to Jesus moment, and then it's all better.
Yeah, I didn't like that because.
Yeah, I didn't see growth from him. He was just kind of like, yeah, I'll be better, and then now he's better. It doesn't make sense.
You didn't, and honestly, I will say this about this movie, and not necessarily to say that's a bad thing, but usually you get a little bit more of a, I guess, like a climax in these type of movies. Like, you didn't see anybody take any responsibilities for their actions. You didn't see the groom own up to the fact that he had slept with her sister. Like, you didn't see any of that conflict, which is almost what I was expecting. As soon as they kind of showed whose room she was waking up in, I was waiting, like, okay, like, let's see this this interaction between these three characters. Like, how is this going to play out? What's the family going to say? And they didn't give you that in that movie. They didn't give you that satisfaction, I would say.
Yeah, I liked Christina Milioti's character a lot. Or Kristen Milotti, not Christina. Kristen Milotti. I liked her character a lot. I liked the growth that they showed for her. I would have liked to see... God, it didn't even have to be on the same level, but some semblance of growth from Andy Samberg's character. Instead of him just being like the guy, like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm useless without you. Like, yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
Men are useless without women. It's just one of those things. Like, I would have liked to see his growth. I would have liked to see him owning his shit and becoming a better person instead of just being like, oh, instead of being like, I need to be a better person, becoming a better person. I think I would have been more sad.
You're right.
I liked the movie. Don't get me wrong. I will 100% watch this movie again. It was really funny. The gags were great. I just think no story is perfect, and this is probably my biggest gripe with the whole thing.
I would agree. I didn't like how no one in the movie were taking like no one actually took real responsibility for their actions. Like being in an infinite time loop does not absolve you of, I would say your past sins. Like that was really, really like low. Like that was egregious to sleep with your younger sister's fiance the day before the wedding and you not have to like
own that
at all, and you don't have to suffer any consequences. That was a very, in my opinion, unrealistic ending to this movie. Was that everything was all, everyone's happy as a clam, peaches and like, cream.
Andy Samberg and Kristen Milotti got together and everybody's happy. And
get the fuck out of my pool, and that was it. And it was just kind of like that. He has to go get his dog, and they're getting kicked out of a pool. Like
it was.
But I did like the movie.
I'm harping on this one point a lot, but I did genuinely like this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I think it's a great.
Yeah.
It's not a waste of your time.
There's a lot of laughs in there, a lot of really strategically placed puns and innuendos. The scene where he's kind of reenacting, or they're kind of showing you like a video montage of everyone that he slept with in the amount of time.
Oh my god, that's
and
funny.
That was really funny because that's something that you would think about when you're in an infinite time loop. Like, well, I guess who am I gonna bang next? Because I mean,
might as well give it a shot.
Might as well. And I mean, he shot his shot for sure.
Trying to swing at the bride on her wedding night.
Yeah, that was good.
That's balls. That's
Audacious.
Major balls.
But yeah, I didn't. The movie didn't get the experience didn't get ruined because of how they ended it and how they decided to go with the story. It was very lighthearted. It was supposed to be super fun, super chill, super. It's a casual watch.
Yeah, it's a fun movie, and I'm not taking any treatises on love from Palm Springs.
Yeah,
I'm not. It's just
a fun movie.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
I had a small complaint that I talked about at length.
Yeah.
This movie's worth your time. If you have a Hulu subscription, I would say sit down, pop a bag of popcorn, relax, kick the recliner up if you got one, and enjoy the show because you're gonna have a good time.
It's one of those movies where you're like, you know what? I just got off work. I'm a little tired. I want to watch some TV, but I don't want to commit to a whole Netflix series.
I don't need 10 episodes.
Yeah. You just want to watch something real quick while you eat dinner. You get a laugh in before you go to bed. This is one of those perfect... Yeah. Or even a quick weekend watch. You're like, you know what? It's the weekend. We've got some time.
Yeah, you're like, honey, what do you want to watch today?
Honey,
like, I don't know.
I don't know. What about this movie, dear?
I did hear about that new...
Palm Springs?
With Andy Samberg? That fella from the SNL?
Guy?
Oh, I love him.
Oh my god. No. So yeah, that's one of those movies.
That's
We're
that
like,
movie.
Honey, we should sit down and watch this together.
It's exactly that.
Honey, come in here. Come watch this with me. Please. Just one more.
Come
just
here.
one movie. Just come watch this one with me.
We never cuddle and watch.
When was the last time we went out together? When was the last time we did anything?
We can't go. I told you we can't go. It's coronavirus.
God, then watch this. So yeah, this is one of those.
That's that movie. That's that movie. It's going to start a small fight between you and your significant other.
Absolutely. Another thing that I noticed in this movie that was interesting was kind of the father-daughter relationship that was going on, and how, I don't know if you picked up on this, but the dad was very, very, protective and almost a little bit I won't say overbearing, but he kind of treated Sarah like a baby and almost if nothing was her fault, and poor Sarah.
Yes, he was.
Poor, honey.
He was protecting her at all.
But it was a very unreasonable. He had no reason to. She didn't deserve his protection. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's a full.
She's a grown. She's an adult.
Peter Gallagher is the dad.
Peter Gallagher,
hottest dad out there.
He's definitely a hot dad. He's definitely got a dad bod going on, and
Yeah,
I
but
do.
that face, that hair.
It's got
like
the
that
salt and
slick back.
pepper, and it's
Yeah.
got like that little bit of gray, and it's like he's aged like fine wine. Yeah, him. Cool. So that was the dad.
I can't
that
say I
was the
feel the
dad.
same way, but yeah, totally.
No. So he was definitely just a little bit too overbearing and a little bit naive in regards to his oldest daughter. You know.
I wouldn't say naive. I would say optimistic.
Okay. I was
'Cause
supposed to bat around. Okay.
That's 100% my mom. My mom is like, baby, I love you. Our mom, she's like, you can do nothing wrong. Whatever you need, we're
And
here
you're
for
just
you.
like, but you don't know what
You're
I've
like,
done. But
"Ah,
have you
if
heard what I did?
If you knew what I did last night.
But it doesn't matter, baby. It doesn't matter because give me
I love
all
you.
your,
I
give
love
it all
you.
to me.
Give
And
it to
I'll-
me. Give it to
I'll
me and to
carry it.
God.
And we'll carry it. Exactly. So
That's our mom.
but that's pretty much how her dad was in the movie, where he was just like, Sarah is like, she's just misunderstood and she's just going through a lot, when really she's just engaging in some extremely reckless behavior.
Self-destructive.
Self-destructive behavior, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And just damaging just to her and her family, her sister, the relationship that she has with her sister, or we don't know how that turned out, but I'm assuming not well, because I wouldn't talk to you after that. Like, no, you can't.
I think it would be safe to assume that she never confronts her sister about her actions the night before the wedding. I think that would be safe.
I know this is very fictional, but now that we're really getting
You
into
know,
it,
these
I don't think
fake
that's okay.
people, these fake people have
They
a lot
have
of
an effect on me.
flaws.
Like, they do. Like, their drama becomes my drama, and I feel like I have unresolved issues because Sarah has unresolved issues with her sister.
This is why you watch all that trash television, and I just sit here and watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. So
I will, for the record, I do not watch trash television. I have watched 1, I'm lying, 2 trash television, 3 trash television shows since the quarantine. Tiger King, because Carol Baskin. Number 2, Love is Blind, because people are in pods and getting married all within the amount of time that I have ordered my food at Wendy's. And number 3, Too Hot to Handle. I'm embarrassed to say that I watched it, but it was right after Love is Blind, and I was like, you know what? It's quarantine.
I'm genuinely surprised you haven't seen 90 Day Fiancé.
This is not the time, but we'll get into that. 90 Day Fiancé.
Okay. All right, we'll talk about that later.
But final thoughts.
Like, that's our review of Palm Springs.
Final thoughts on Palm Springs.
Oh my god. I loved it. It's worth your time. If you got that Hulu subscription, go get it. If you got a friend with a password, go ask them. It's definitely
We know
worth.
y'all broke.
Yeah,
We know y'all poor.
everybody broke. It's quarantine. No, ain't nobody got jobs.
You're not working.
That's our review. I think it's really good. We think it's worth your time. You should definitely go out and watch it. That's going to be it for us today. Catch us next time when we'll be reviewing. What do you want to review next?
Eurovision.
We're going to watch Eurovision next.
Rachel McAdams.
Will Ferrell.
in Eurovision. Coming up next.
Tale of the Fire Saga. All right, guys. That's going to be it for us today. We love you. Take care of yourselves out there. It's a crazy world. Bye. Will Ferrell, Amy Adams, Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams. She's from The Notebook. How did you mess that up?
Because they're
It's a
basically sisters.
What? Not even close. That's Amy Adams and that other chick, Ela Fisher, but not Rachel McAdams. Those are two she's not even redhead. She's definitely like a brunette / blonde or dirty blonde, strawberry blonde. I don't know the variations.
Amy Adams, Rachel McAdams.
Caucasian hair
I got
colors.
messed up. All right, the names